everyone, and welcome to this video on the Virgo full moon on the 27th of February 2021. This full moon is at 8 degrees of Virgo and it is trining Uranus in Taurus. So there is a beautiful earth energy to this full moon. At the same time, Mars in Taurus is actually trining Pluto in Capricorn. So there is a beautiful harmonious earth energy to this. At the same time, Uranus is still in a square with Saturn. We have just come out of Aquarius season where the sky was exaggerated with Aquarian energy. And while Aquarian energy is wonderful for sociological and human advancement, and we've seen that with space, with the Mars mission, but despite there being such an advancement, and there being a beautiful room for this energy, and every energy in astrology has its place, there has been a feeling of detachment from emotions or a feeling of over-analysis, overthinking. There has been insomnia with Uranus in the mix. There's been a lot of top-heavy energy, heavy in the mind, an overworking mind, an overactive imagination, especially in regard to the future, because Mercury has still been in retrograde in Aquarius, which means that we have been revisiting our ideas of what our future might be. And we have perhaps been feeling in many cases a sense of anxiety about what the future holds. So there has been a little bit of push and pull with that season. Now that we're into Pisces season, there's a bit more emphasis on the emotional, on the unseen, on the spiritual, on the infinite. And then the Virgo full moon is going to put a lot of emphasis on the practical, the routine, and the logical in a grounded sense. It's more to do with order and physical health, while we see that the Piscean energy with the Sun and Venus in the earlier degrees of Pisces are going to put a lot of energy into our spiritual health and our emotional well-being. And the two coincide beautifully. Because if you think about it, anything that is spiritual usually has routine. So if you were to go to a church service, there's usually a routine of some kind. I'm limited in my church going experience, so I don't have much experience in traditional religion, so I'm not quite sure of the actual routines, but I'm sure many of you will understand that. There is the Virgo energy in the spiritual energy. So the routine is the Virgo, in the church is the spiritual. And with any manifestation process or anything you're trying to heal or anything you're trying to draw into your life at the moment, the balance is between the action you take, the practical steps you take, and the faith in something divine, the faith in something unseen. And the Pisces Virgo axis of service is how you bring about that energy. So one cannot exist without the other if you're trying to bring more health or wellness or even manifestation into your life, because the 6th house is our day-to-day work, our day-to-day routine. The spiritual, which is the 12th house, is the unseen. It's our subconscious mind, our spiritual health, and that type of thing. So when you're trying to manifest something, or the positive change that you're trying to bring about with this full moon in Virgo, and it will be positive change, it will be progress, it will be the next steps, it will be to do with embracing change. Consider in what it is that you're trying to bring about, or what it is that you're experiencing, how your routine links to your faith, and how your faith in something is matched with positive action taken towards it, or how your positive action, the things you do, are coupled with faith that it will work out. It's like sending off a CV for a job. If you just send it off with nothing, you don't really believe you're going to hear back, you don't really believe that it's going to fit you or whatever, that's missing out on the Piscean energy, the spiritual and the faith. Whereas if you put positive action towards something and you have the faith that it will work out, and you have the trust that what's meant for you and in the divine will be yours, it usually works out a lot better. So that's where the balance is with this full moon. Now, at the same time, Jupiter, which is still in Aquarius, is going to be trining the true node in Gemini. So there is an element here of creating our own luck, creating our own destiny, creating our own future, how we shape it. And with the Aquarian energy, very much linked in the future realms, and the true node in Gemini, which is very present and in the moment. sometimes a little bit in the past, but the true node is in Gemini. So that is our conversation at the moment. That is using our voice, using our words. And Jupiter in Aquarius would be how we link to others. So there is likely to be around this time some positive news surrounding the social aspect of life, or the collective energy of life, or at least, possibly some drama with Jupiter involved. But where we do not sacrifice our hopes and our ideas and our wishes for the future, we don't sacrifice them by believing they're in somebody else's hands. There is that element of creating our own luck. And with Pisces being the martyr, being the victim, and the full moon opposite in Virgo, because that axis is light up, it's important to see where you maybe are a little bit sacrificing of yourself, or you feel like you're stuck in a victim mentality. This Jupiter true node aspect can give you that oomph to take back your power, to take back your control, and to take back your luck. Pisces season is a beautiful time to dream, to idealize, to manifest for yourself. But the full moon itself is mostly associated with this trine Uranus energy, because Uranus has been in tension. It's been in tension with the Aquarian energy. It's not been so comfortable there, and it was getting some aggressive backup from Mars. So the last couple of months have been touchy. And with this full moon in positive alignment with Uranus, there is this groundedness, this beautiful earth energy that says, it's okay, I'm ready for some change. I am ready to embrace this. I'm ready to create positive change. I'm ready to try a new routine. I'm ready to try some new habits. I'm ready to commit to health. It's funny that I remember last year the full moon in Virgo was coined, I think, as the hypochondriac's full moon, because Virgo is associated with health and sometimes hypochondria because of the full moon aspect to it. And I actually remember last year around the Virgo full moon, people were stockpiling hand sanitizer and toilet paper. Things that would be in that health routine bracket, as it were. And so I'm hoping this full moon doesn't do that quite so much. But because of the positive aspect to Uranus and the change, I do feel like there is progress being made here in a positive fashion, progress being made with the changes that we're embracing. Virgo and Pisces are mutable signs. They're more comfortable with change. We're in the transiting of the seasons. All mutable signs mark the change of seasons as we progress from winter into spring. Spring is a beautiful time of the year to start anew. And so with this Virgo full moon, you will see quite clearly in your life what spiritual habits need to be changed, or what practical habits need to be changed, and how the two link, how they marry. And when you marry the two and you experience that positive balance of the practical, of the routine and the spiritual, you typically find a bit more progress. I often find that when people are very interested in spirituality, for example, or they're interested in tarot and they're interested in the astrology, they automatically start off with wanting to tap into that at a little bit of a distance, considering asking somebody else's opinion on the energies, or just focusing on what the energies are rather than the routine itself. And that's when it all feels very overwhelming. That's when it feels like nothing is moving. But with the Virgo balance, if you have a spiritual practice, if you meditate, if you have good healthy habits where you eat more fruit or drink more water in, connection with your spiritual practice, you find you have a lot more progression. And you find that you are much more of service, because this is the service axis. So thinking about what you can give back to your body in gratitude, or what you can give back to your faith, whatever it is that you have faith in, be it the universe, be it a God, be it deities, whatever. This is a beautiful time to offer something, to give something, to help others, and ground yourself in tools to be more present, more practical, but also more spiritual. Although this Virgo full moon is likely to show you where you need to be a bit more practical, or put a little bit more attention to detail. Don't forget that this is a perfectionist moon. Virgo is the perfectionist. The link to Uranus being an innovator, being a revolutionary is likely to do with the fact that you need to release yourself from the idea of perfectionism and know that you're enough as you are. Not forgetting Taurus is based on worth. And so seeing your own worth without having to change a thing. So Mercury will no longer be retrograde at this full moon, will be in shadow and will still be conjunct Jupiter, conjunct Saturn, loosely though, and squaring Uranus also loosely. So communication at this time might take a very serious tone at the same point. People might want to be very serious about certain topics, and the news might still be quite serious, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a positive shift, there isn't some kind of lift and some kind of progress being made, and we will see it. Just with the Mercury aspects, probably not the best time to be on social media or read the news or anything like that, because it has a bit of a pessimistic twist to it, I have to say, with Mercury conjunct Saturn. And with Mercury conjunct Jupiter still, there's also an exaggeration. So you can read it, but keep that sense of detachment. Those energies are still in Aquarius, so that's where you keep your detachment. But everything else feels very grounded and a lot more based in faith. So if you want to know what this full moon means for your zodiac sign, the timestamps are listed below. As usual, you can listen to your sun, moon, or rising. I suggest rising for astrology, cards for your sun. Just listen to both, see if they overlap and see what actually resonates with your heart, because these are general. They won't resonate with everybody all of the time. And if they don't, that's okay. Okay, so I will see you guys soon. Bye. Hi Virgo, so welcome to this part on the full moon in your sign. So Virgo, this is happening in your first house. This is happening in your sign, meaning that there is positive change afoot for you. And how you define yourself, how you see yourself, how you view yourself. There's likely been, as we've built up to this Virgo full moon, a bit of a change in you. And because of the positive aspect to Uranus, there's likely been a positive change in what you believe and what your belief system is and what you value. Perhaps you realize with this full moon that you've become too stuck in a certain view or a certain viewpoint that has negatively impacted the way that you see yourself or negatively impacted the way that others see you. With the first house, this can often indicate change in appearance, change in your physical appearance. Your face is also occupied with this full moon. And because of the positive energy to Uranus, and Uranus being in your 9th house of philosophy and higher self, I feel that your shift in perspective, your shift in your belief systems, and possibly also the way that you change your viewpoint in work and how stressed you've been, deciding to feel a bit more free, a bit more optimistic is really going to show in your face. You're likely going to be experiencing a couple of days beforehand and a couple of days afterhand of a glowing radiance to yourself and to your physical appearance and also to your personality in general. There's a beautiful optimism shining from you around this full moon, and I can also see that with your cards. You have the Fool. Beautiful energy of the Fool. It is a brand new beginning for you. You are stepping out with a more carefree, more optimistic and more excitable attitude. I feel that this positive shift between your 1st and 9th house is going to really show on you. People are going to notice. People are going to say, isn't Virgo looking glowy? Or isn't Virgo really optimistic at this point? Isn't Virgo really fun? There's going to be a really beautiful glowing energy with you. But there's also going to be, because of the Piscean energy, bless me. Someone said in a video that if you sneeze during talking about something, it typically means that it's true, so take that in mind. 6th chakra, Archangel Metatron. You're also experiencing a period this time of spiritual growth. I feel with the Pisces season, you're learning to tap into that more spiritual energy, but mostly in the sense of having more faith in the outcome, having more faith in the divine, having more faith in the universe, in divine timing, in things working out the way that they're meant to, having this optimism about the future, having this optimism that things are actually going to work out for you, which I think has been lacking a little bit in February because of the Aquarian season. So that's had you really very busy at work. And you might have felt quite overwhelmed and overburdened by chores or your day-to-day routine or work in general. You might have had less interest. Your energy is expanding at this point and you're making significant happy progress. And I really feel like you're stepping out into the unknown. You're stepping out into a new journey. You're stepping out into a new way of being. You could be learning an instrument. I also feel like you could be feeling very confident at this point. With the Virgo full moon, you may notice that if you have been working on your physical appearance, if you've committed to a skincare routine or you've committed to a diet, you'll see results around this time. You may also notice that if you've been committing to self-help, whatever intentions you set around the new moon in Virgo back in September, you may be noticing some distinctive changes at this point and a feeling that it's paying off. And where things haven't been paying off, I feel like it is to do with where you're not having the faith. Your third eye is not quite in place, and Pisces season is a beautiful time to awaken that third eye. In fact, a full moon in your sign is a wonderful time to do that. I also have the Don't Back Down card with Bridget. And this energy to me is also saying that you have to keep going with something. You know, don't back down. Don't talk yourself out of what it is you want or what it is you're trying to do, what it is that you're trying to accomplish. There is, because of Mercury being in your 6th house and in tough conversations, well, very significant conversations, they're not all tough, but you know, Mercury is your ruler and it's connecting to Saturn, and there is a seriousness in work. And I do feel like you have to stand your ground, but at the same time you have this optimism and this energy flow that I think is going to make you very magnetic, and I think is going to make you very appreciated wherever you are or whatever's going on at that time. Okay, Virgo. So bear in mind as well, the true node in Gemini in your 10th house of career is connecting with Jupiter in your sector of work in your 6th house. So I do feel like there is going to be some good news around your work situation, or at least some recognition. Okay, Virgo, so that is what I have for you. Have a beautiful full moon. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hi Libra, welcome to your segment on the Virgo full moon. So Libra, this is happening in your 12th house, which is the subconscious. It's the unseen, it's the infinite, it's your spiritual nature. It's also your hidden fears, your deepest fears, the things, the baggage you carry that you're not quite aware of. And a full moon in the side of the sky is always quite emotional, I have to say, but it's also quite revolutionary for you. This is a very positive full moon energy in your 12th house, so I like what I'm seeing. The harmony from Uranus in your 8th house, the 8th house, which is to do with death of the ego, it's to do with transformation, it's to do with change, shared resources. It could be possible that you learn some information at this time that you didn't know about a partner or someone that you're linked to financially. It could be a time when you learn that you're actually experiencing some fears or some trauma in your life is still affecting you, or some emotions are bubbling to the surface at this time that you have ignored or suppressed. But the Uranus aspect to this means that you can be supported and released. Both the 8th house and the 12th house actually support some kind of therapy or some kind of healing system. And when we take into account the Virgo energy of routine, this is a beautiful time to commit to a spiritual routine or a spiritual practice. Your cards are interesting. I feel that there is, with the Star card here, a lot of reason to be hopeful and a lot of aspirations and wishes. I actually feel for you as well, because we have Jupiter in connection with the true node occupying your 5th house and 9th house respectively. There is a lot of optimism and hope about the future at the same time. And I do feel like for a lot of you, because of the Jupiter true node aspect, there could be a wish coming true for you. But there's some kind of difficulty in achieving it lately. I think that there maybe has been a dream of yours that you've either suppressed or ignored, or you're not sure that you can make it. And whatever wish this is for you, I do feel like it's trying to find you. You know, it's the affirmation, what I seek is seeking me. But what I am seeing with you with the focused intention card and the indecision card is that the reason you're not getting the result you want, Libra, and the way that you can get it around the full moon, is by being decisive on what it is that you want. So the way that I see this is that the full moon in your 12th house is going to be illuminating some inner fears, inner blockages that you need to work through. It could be a fear of being unworthy. It could be a fear, it could be genuinely not believing in it. It could be that you don't actually believe in what you thought you believed in anymore. And so you have to dig a little deeper and see what this is. Anything that comes up with the full moon, you always have to dig a little bit deeper. You have to see what that link is, where that thread is going, because there's something, Libra, that is blocking you from knowing exactly what it is that you want. And it's not just being a Libra, because I know you guys are indecisive, and I'm seeing the indecision card. But indecision is usually a psychological trauma that comes in the form of procrastination rather than indecision, because people typically do know what they want. It's just that they usually have some kind of subconscious block or belief on it. Not to get too deep with you, but I think you know what you want. And I do feel with the focused intention card, whatever dream this is, when you focus on it and you continue down that path, you will get it. It's just that there seems to be something blocking you. And I think the Virgo full moon is illuminating that. It's exposing that. And with the star card, you have a lot of reason to be hopeful and to have faith that this information that comes to a head, this energy, is actually releasing you with Uranus to get what it is you want, whether it is in education, whether it's in romance, whether it's in having a family, you know, whatever dream it is for you. It's so dependent on who you are. But I do feel for a lot of you with the Uranus aspect that it could either be love or money. And that's just kind of the energy that I'm getting. You know, you could also feel a lot of pangs of jealousy or irritation come up around this time, or a lot of old wounds surrounding love. But with the star card, that is for you to heal it so you can progress. This is letting you know that the Aquarius energy in the background in Pisces season still has your back. So don't worry. If you have an intention around this full moon, it should be to get answers. And once you have a little answer, once you see what's holding you back from what it is that you want, you make your mark. You hit your target. So that is what I have for you, Libra. See you soon. Hi Scorpio, welcome to your part on the Virgo full moon. So this full moon is happening in your 11th house of friendships and wishes, and it is in positive support with Uranus in your sector of partnerships, contracts and agreements. So Scorpio, this could go many ways, but I am seeing that there is going to be, with a full moon in Virgo, typically a manifestation of some kind of wish, some kind of aspiration, some kind of goal. And I'm seeing that with your cards as well. We have the star card, because the 11th house, when there's a full moon in it, there typically is some kind of wish comes true, something you have asked the moon for, something you've prayed for, something you've hoped for. And it is typically to do with people. It is typically to do with groups of people. It can be to do with socializing, justice. It can be to do with the communities that we keep, the groups that we're associated with. And I do feel with the full moon being in this sector that it's also our aspirations, our wishes and our goals, that there could be a wish coming true for you that is linked to groups of people or social media or the internet. So this could be some kind of internet recognition, internet fame. It could be good news about a friend, or it could be the manifestation of new friendships. So a couple of things that have come up with your cards that are very poignant. So we have the star card and we have the fertility card, of course, because the sun and Venus are both in your sector of fertility and children and that sort of stuff. And we also have the community card. So one of the things that I'm getting for a lot of Scorpios is that if it's not you with pregnancy news, it could actually be a friend. You might find that a friend of yours or a sister is pregnant or expecting a baby, a sibling is expecting a baby. There could be some really good news about a friend in your life. They could be getting engaged, they could be starting a family, anything like that. I feel like there's good news for you surrounding friendships. I also feel that this good news could be yours. So there could be something that you've been hoping for a long time. It's been in the, I think it's called the gestation period, where it's growing. There has been something that since September you've been working hard to get. I think you set an intention in September of something you really wanted to manifest as a wish, and I feel around this full moon it is manifesting for you. So there is something that you really want, because fertility, you know, it's not necessarily a physical baby. It can be something that you want to nurture, be it a creative gift, be it a professional aspect, be it a home, something that you've been building, something you've been nurturing and you've been waiting to see results for. I do see for Scorpio that you'll probably be having some kind of results around the full moon. But this can also be linked to partnership, especially a spouse or a committed partnership, a relationship. So some of you might be making a relationship where you're dating somebody official, or you might be meeting somebody, or you might be you might be relooking at a friendship, for example. But I think for a lot of Scorpios, this is mostly to do with, commitment, with the Uranus aspect in Taurus, with partnerships. There's pleasant conversations and pleasant events surrounding your current beau, your current squeeze, whatever you want to call it, or your partner, your marriage partner, your spouse. So there's positive energy there. There could be a wish fulfillment for them. There could be something really wonderful happens, your partner, or as I say, a friendship in your life. But there's good news around the full moon that I'm seeing for you with the Star card and the Community card. There's going to be good news with friendships. Some of you might be able to see friends after a long time. Some of you might be experiencing more closeness with your friendships. I do feel with Uranus in the mix, because of the harmony, there's good news surrounding partnerships. There may also be healing conversations if there's been friction caused by the Taurus Aquarian squares, in your home and family life. There might have been some tension there. So there is a beautiful healing energy going on for you, Scorpio. There's definitely a wish fulfilled, which I love to see. This typically happens whenever there's a full moon in the 11th house. There's usually a wish fulfillment of some kind. And I do feel with the Fertility card, it's heralding the fact that spring is going to be a really beautiful time for you. Spring for Scorpios typically is a beautiful time because of Pisces season and Aries season. Aries shares your ruler Mars, and then we have Taurus season. So I do feel like there's going to be really beautiful energies occur for you in the spring. This is also saying that although it is a full moon, there is the energy of wrapping up one cycle and giving birth to something new, the beginning of a cycle. As I say, I feel since September, something for you has been growing, but not showing. You've not seen the results, as it were. And I feel like there's going to be some kind of result for you around the full moon itself. So that is what I have for you, Scorpio. I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your part on the Virgo full moon. So this full moon is happening in your 10th house of public recognition, honors, success, achievement. And it is in positive harmony with Uranus in your work sector, your day-to-day routine and your job. So Sagittarius, it is likely that you are working very hard on something. There is some type of goal that you want to meet. There's some type of progress you want to see. It's likely to do with career. It could be to do with a physical project with the sun in Pisces. It could be to do with decorating. It could be to do with the home. But I'm feeling like for a lot of you, you just want some kind of movement, some kind of growth, and some kind of recognition. You can see that with the Eight of Pentacles. This full moon is likely to show you where there is growth, where there is recognition, or where there is a lack of. And the Eight of Pentacles is a beautiful energy for understanding that there are some things in life that take a lot of time to achieve. There are some things in life that take a lot of time to meet, to get to. Some destinations take longer to get to. And you know that as a Sagittarius with you shooting your arrows. But there is a likelihood that there is some goal that is being met. It may not necessarily come around the full moon. It for sure could. For those of you that it doesn't, it is still on its way. So we have the Easy Does It card, Una. There is no need to hurry or force things to happen. Everything is occurring in perfect timing. And we have the Eight of Pentacles, which is that achievement, that growth, that apprenticeship. It's likely with the Man holding a heart that you will be receiving some recognition for a job well done or progress. For some of you, this could be landing a new job that is going to require you to learn new skills, learn new techniques, or establish a very new routine in your life thanks to Uranus. It could be very different in routine to what you usually do. Since Uranus moved into your sector of routine, your day-to-day life probably has changed somewhat. Your day-to-day tasks, your day-to-day job probably has changed somewhat. It has spurred you to go for something else. And so for a lot of you, I feel that many are in the apprenticeship stages of something new. So this could be that you manifest a job around this time if you've been looking since September. It could be that you complete a degree of some kind, you complete a course, you complete some training, and I do feel like it is very well done. It could also be for you that a romance that has been slow moving starts to pick up around this time for you. So that there is a slow moving energy, but there is some level of advancement. With the Easy Does It card, there is an element of divine timing in all of this, Sagittarius. Sometimes when we have a lot of energy in our mode, you're a mutable sign, so this is the shifting of the seasons. For you, it could feel like the change is not happening quick enough, or it could feel that there is a long way to go, and this could either be exciting or it could be daunting. I think for most of you it's exciting, but there is likely to be some significant change in your career life, your recognition. And it's likely that you are also changing some habit in terms of your health, especially if that's in relation to men. You could find around this full moon that some men in your life are being stressful, or you could alternatively actually have some good news with men in your life in terms of health. So I am seeing that for a lot of you, there is a need to understand how your career and your goals are linking with your healthy habits and your well-being in your body. You're trying to meet a goal, but how hard are you going at it at the expense of your health and your well-being? Some of you might not be sleeping enough, and this full moon gets you to get your new sleep routine in order, whatever that means for you, whether it's visualizing before bed or winding down or spending less time on your phone. There's likely to be some changes in your routine or your health, and I do think it's linked to your career. So it could be that you're realizing you need more rest, or you're needing more help, or you're needing to take things a little bit slower. Because with all the Aquarius energy, I think a lot of you have really been trying to go for gold with things, especially in terms of impressing others or having your voice heard. So that is what I have for you, Sagittarius. Do take it easy and enjoy the recognition. Bye. Hi Capricorn, and welcome to your part on the Virgo full moon. So this Virgo full moon is happening in your 9th house of philosophy, of higher education, higher self, and travel. But when discussing the travel aspects, usually keep them a bit more on the down low, because a lot of people just aren't experiencing that at the moment. It's typically more philosophical. So Virgo, there is likely to be some interesting advancements in your higher self, and it's linked to creativity, it's linked to love, it's linked to creation of any kind, be that pregnancy, be that children. You're likely getting some news either around your children, a pregnancy. You're likely getting some news around your family that is most likely good. But I do see a lot of you as well having some kind of relief in terms of creative blocks, whether that's writing, whether that is creating music, whether that's creating a screenplay, whatever this is. I do feel like for a lot of you, some writer's block or some creative blocks are being lifted. I see that because of your cards, the Ace of Swords, the Indecision cards, and Yamanya, Golden Opportunity. Important doors are opening for you right now. Walk through them. I am seeing some kind of opportunity coming for you, Capricorn. There's also some new information that you've likely received around this time, and I do feel if you're getting news, it's clarity or truth on something where there's been a bit of a confusion, a yes or no. Is it not? Will it not? There's likely to be some answer. And it's an answer maybe from somebody else. It's an answer maybe from your higher self. And I do feel for a lot of you, there is going to be a joy and a happiness surrounding that. And there may also be good news for you in your family situations. With regards to the connection between the 9th house and the 5th, both are very fun places to be. Both are very adventurous. Both are very exciting. So I do feel that there is some news of adventure, especially with this Golden Opportunity card. There is new land for you to explore. You're wrapping up a chapter that has maybe felt quite stagnant, has maybe felt quite boring, or you've not been able to be very optimistic about it, or you've not seen the bright side in it. And I think for a lot of you, you're about to get a silver lining. You're about to get a silver lining in some regard as to an issue where you've just not understood what was happening or what was going on. There's been a lack of clarity about what happens next. And this full moon is giving you that answer. It's giving you that clarity, and it's giving you that truth. The Ace of Swords is cutting through the nonsense. It's triumph. It's victory. It's a very sharp energy. Of course, it's a double-edged sword because it gives you a bit of power, and sometimes the truth hurts. So if you are in a position where the truth isn't what you like per se, that aspect to Uranus is saying to you, this will work out better in the long run. This will bring you something, it'll bring you more fun. Okay, it'll bring you more pleasure, more enjoyment. So if there is something that you've had to cut out of your life lately, or something you've had to sacrifice in any way, it is trying to liberate you for a new energy to come in. Okay, so something that you've maybe released has to allow something else in. But I am seeing that there's a new adventure on the horizon for you that I really like the look of. It seems to be linked to a baby or a creative project, or just something fun, a hobby. You know, not every hobby has to be monetized. It could be that you're just finding enjoyment and you're connecting to your higher self through something. Or for a lot of you that are artists, you're actually channeling from the divine. So if you're a songwriter, or you're a poet, or you are someone who makes cards or anything, you know, there's a beautiful creative genius energy coming in, and it's your higher self connecting to the other powers. And I know that that sounds woo-woo, but when you think about it, there are so many pieces of art, be it a book that changed the world. You know, the Lord of the Rings is channeled with messages in it because so much of those messages applied later in life, even if they were inspired by current events. Or we think of certain songs that touch the world, like Paul McCartney, the things that he's written, or John Lennon, the things that he wrote. Those type of energies, you know, really being able to tap into those, the higher self, and channeling something and thinking, wow, I don't know where that came from. I remember I was watching, actually, just before you go, I was watching an interview with Avril Lavigne, and she was my favorite singer of all time whenever I was younger, when I was a teenager. And she said that she wrote her first album when she was about 17, and she said she was writing stuff and she didn't know where it came from. She said she didn't know, she'd not had those experiences, but it's like she was channeling. And then she wrote her latest album after she had Lyme disease, and she said again she knew she was channeling that type of energy. You're connecting to a higher power, a higher source. You're connecting to something divine, and especially with the South Node in your 12th house, in connection with Jupiter in your second, your connection to the divine and spirituality and healing the past could make you a lot of money. So that is something to bear in mind. It might not just make you money, it might just make you feel more secure and more valued and happier. So that is what I have for you, Capricorn. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Aquarius, and welcome to your part on the Virgo full moon. So Aquarius, this is happening for you in a very deep and transformative space. And for you, the intensity of these aspects might feel a bit uncomfortable. They're in the water houses for you. So this is going to be amplifying some emotions that you're experiencing for the moment, especially surrounding your intimate relationships and your family. So the people that are closest to you, really. And so all this energy is likely to be stirring up some feelings. Full moons are always deeply emotional and personal. And for you, because we've had such a profound energy of your sign, we've had such an emphasis on your sign, you've likely been feeling a lot of mental energy, a lot of optimism, a lot of opportunity, a lot of hope, a lot of expansion. And not to burst your bubble, but there's always stuff lying beneath. And so with this full moon in Virgo, it's likely that there could be some information coming up about your spouse's income, or, you know, that could actually be quite good as well. I want to get to that in a moment because this is a positive full moon. But it's likely there could be some news surrounding your spouse, your shared resources, shared finances, your most intimate relationships. Fear can come up around this full moon. It's associated with death when it's in the 8th house, so there is kind of a death of the ego. There is a change going on in your life. And I do feel with the 8 of Swords, a lot of you are feeling very anxious or very uncertain at the moment, or around the full moon. You may be feeling very trapped, you may be feeling very stuck. And sometimes with the 8th house, it's where we feel like other people can have power over us. That's also the 10th. And because we've had so much energy as well in your 4th house of home, and it being in tension with your energy, I feel like a lot of you do feel trapped in your home, or trapped in a family circumstance, or trapped in wherever it is that you are, or in circumstances with family, and there's been a lot of stuff could have been quite triggering for you. This full moon is a release though. So I do see that for a lot of you, because of the positive aspects to Uranus, some of you might be thinking of moving or getting your own place, or cutting ties with people that are draining you in your intimate life. I do think for a lot of you it could be actually a move, and if it is a move, this seems to be very supported because we have the Door to Spirit and the Leap of Faith card. A lot of you are ushering in a new change, something that is going to require you to put a lot of faith, a lot of perspective into what it is that you're doing. And I do feel that whatever is trapping you at the moment, Aquarius, is also, in a subtle way, releasing you from something that has been holding you back. There is a death of the ego energy going on here in the areas where you feel trapped, and it is encouraging you to be more spiritual, to have more faith, and to connect. There's an energy here of white feathers, so you might be seeing a lot of white feathers about. That can be news from the other side. It can be news that you're being protected, news that you're being taken care of. You might be having more unusual dreams. You might be experiencing pangs of lower vibe emotions that you feel like you're above. But with Uranus being in your sector of family and your sector of home, I do feel like a lot of you could be experiencing positive changes surrounding family, surrounding shared resources. Because of the link between the 4th and the 8th, if some of you did lose somebody recently, I do think that there could be news about inheritance for maybe like one of you. You know, it's a general reading, so take what resonates, but there could be news of unexpected money for some of you in general. Or a tax rebate, for example, could come up around this full moon, which would be great. I do feel like it's quite a good one for money and family. So that is something that's very positive. But I also feel like while there is positive stuff happening for you, I do feel like you might be feeling a bit emotional or a bit shaky. And it's just telling you that it's testing your faith, basically. You've had your faith tested, you're having your metal tested. And I think it's because maybe for a lot of you, you're being offered opportunities with so much in Aquarius and Jupiter in your sign, that this is the moment where you start to doubt yourself, or think you're not worthy, or think you're not enough. And this is really trying to get you to get to the bottom of that and have that death of the ego moment where you feel like, well, why should I be the exception to the rule? Why should I not have this thing? You know, because that's isolating yourself from everybody else in terms of ego, because you think, well, I don't deserve this. Why not? You know what I mean? It's a death of the ego process for you. And I do feel that because this full moon is so very positive, and we also have Jupiter in your sign connecting with the true node in Gemini, your 5th house of love, creativity and pleasure, there is a lot of creativity and luck surrounding you, of creating your own luck, and to believe that you're worthy of it, but also to note that you're worthy of indulging in your feelings sometimes too. So that is what I have for you, Aquarius. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Pisces, welcome to this segment on the Virgo full moon for your sign. So Pisces, because this is your season, I've drawn you more cards than the rest of the signs. Don't tell them. But let's get into the astrology. So obviously the sun is now in your 1st house. It's your season. The full moon is in your 7th house, and it is in harmony with Uranus in your sector of communication. So this is a beautiful time for messages about love, about partnership, about your significant other, about business agreements if you're not in a relationship. But likely there is some advancement, some move to the next level with a partner if you're in a relationship. It may be about the direction of the relationship. It may be about the next phase. And it can also be conversations that are very healing because you've done a lot of growth in the last month or so. We had a lot of energy on your axis of service last month with the full moon in Leo and all the Aquarian energy. And there's still a bit of Aquarian energy in the sky after all. There's still Mercury, Saturn and Jupiter in your 12th house. Venus is shifted into your sign when this full moon is occurring. So this is a beautiful time for a bit of a new start for you personally, and it's a beautiful time for your relationship, your partnerships, or any romantic relationship that you may be in. But also in terms of your contracts, there could be good news about a contract. You might have to sign a contract under this full moon, which is okay because Mercury is actually direct. still in shadow, so there might not be 100% transparency about where this leads, but likely because Mercury is in your 12th house, there could be an element of destiny or karma involved in a contract that you're engaging in at this time. Some of you might actually get engaged because this is a full moon in your sector of marriage and partnership. That came up in your cards too, so for a lot of you, there's beautiful energy surrounding love. We have the Lovers, we have the Ace of Cups, and we have the Nine of Cups. And we have Woman Holding a Heart. So there's beautiful romantic energies. For a lot of you, this could mean that you are meeting somebody. We talked about in the Venus in your sign segment that all the signs are gearing towards Pisces, finding love or connecting deeper, or there being healing energy, or there being a move to the next level type of energy for Pisceans. So one of the things I'm seeing as well, that a lot of you, if it's not romantic, I feel like there could be a contract based in your creativity. So this could be a job offer of some kind that allows you to be more creative and more artistic, or it could be an opportunity with the Ace of Cups to showcase your artisticness that is in some way linked to a contract. Now Jupiter, your traditional ruler, is in your 12th house. There's an element of destiny, and it is connecting to the Gemini energy, which is your 4th house of home and stability. So there could be an energy, Pisces, whereby you feel really connected to the people you're with or the people that you meet. There is an element of destiny going on. There is an element of deeper unconditional love, soulmates, karma, that type of thing. But there is also with the Ace of Cups and the Lovers that if you're in an unhappy relationship, maybe the full moon is when you decide, I want something better for myself. And that could be just around the corner with the Ace of Cups and the Lovers, which is a really beautiful energy. In fact, it could be with someone who is Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, because the Lion is coming up in this card, I've just noticed. But with Sarasvati, the arts, expressing yourself through creative activities is something that you may be doing around this full moon. And I'm seeing this overall as a very beautiful full moon for you. I'm also seeing down here with the lotus flower that a lot of you with the partnership energy are opening up your heart chakra. And you may be feeling deeper connections. You may have released a lot of past pain with the Aquarian 12th house energies, released a lot of upset, had a lot of uncomfortable dreams or conversations regarding what's going on within you. One thing I am seeing is that the 12th house for you at the moment is linked to wishes, where you're really manifesting something, because we have the Nine of Cups, which is the wish fulfillment energy, and this was the first card that came out for you. And so I think if you're wishing for love, or you're wishing for relationships, or you're wishing for something artistic or creative, this is a beautiful time for you. It's a beautiful time for you to get into music. It's a beautiful time for you to put your creative juices to work, because you will be at your most creative. But with the woman Mercury turns direct tomorrow, bear with me. With the Woman Holding a Heart, I do feel that a lot of you are ready to put your heart into something. And I also feel with the carvings in this, a lot of you are healing your heart. A lot of you are healing your, your romantic energies. A lot of you are working through some past pain and some trauma that might have come up with the 12th house. But I do feel that a lot of you are able to put your heart into something, be it a relationship or be it a creative venture. I am feeling it's like a very emotional space. For some of you, based on where it falls in your chart, it could be career based, but I'm just feeling for a lot of you it's mostly to do with love, romance, the arts. But whatever it is that you're really wishing for seems to be coming up quite significantly, Pisces. And Mars in your 3rd house of communication, trining Pluto in your sector of wishes at this time. Maybe you are manifesting something through your words. So do watch your words at this point. Make sure that you're speaking things into existence that you want, or writing things into existence that you want. A lot of you could pen the next masterpiece with this energy. So Pisces, that is all I have for you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Aries, and welcome to your part in the Virgo full moon. So this full moon is happening in your 6th house of health, well-being, your physical health, your routine, your day-to-day work. So the full moon here could be showing you any issues you're having with these areas, any health concerns could come to a head, anywhere you've been neglecting your body or mistreating your body could come to a head. And because of the Uranus aspect, anything that is unhealthy can be released by choosing value and what it is that you put your value on. So in a health situation, you may be deciding to stop something that is giving you issues in terms of your physical health and well-being, or you may be seeing just how much a certain health practice is actually helping. For a lot of you, this could be work related. This could be a full moon where you're wrapping up a certain cycle in your work so that you can begin a new cycle. So you could be leaving a job, you could be getting some recognition in a job, you could be moving to the next level in a job. And some of you may also be noticing the benefits of a certain health routine or fitness regime. So that is what's coming up for you astrologically speaking, Aries. At the same time, I have always noticed with Aries people that they put a lot of onus onto the fitness side of health. You know, most Aries are athletic. Most Aries do a lot of exercise. They're very particular about their diet. A lot of Aries though, and not all, I'm not generalizing, but sometimes if I was to hedge a bet, I feel a lot of Aries put the health energy onto their physical body and what it is that they're doing with their physical body, because you're ruled by Mars, you know. But there is the balancing side of this with the Piscean energy, the spirituality, where you have a lot of unconscious things coming up at the moment. A lot of emotions may catch you by surprise, Aries, and it's so that you can heal them through routine, through exercise, and just having not just the mind and body, but the soul aspect to this. So your body meets in the middle between your mind and your soul. So having your mental health in check, making sure that you're looking after that, making sure that you're looking after your body, but also that you're doing things for your soul, you know, meditation or journaling or just considering spiritual things, you know, just opening your heart a little bit. I assume you're open enough if you're on this video because this is quite esoteric, but if you're not and you've just sort of got a curiosity, that's a good sign around this Virgo full moon to be curious, because Venus rules your relationships and it's in a very spiritual place. So there's a lot of divine unconditional love to be tapped into, especially if you're dealing with a water sign. So we have the Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces and the Sun. So this can be that you're feeling revitalized, you're finding a lot of vitality, you're getting a lot of confidence, you're getting a lot of good news surrounding your health, but there is a link to the emotional well-being with the King of Cups and making sure that you're feeling connected to your emotions. And if you find that hard to do because you are afraid of what people might think, there's a suggestion with the home card here that you can really tap into the energy of your feelings in private, in your own home. You know, you could be watching something in TV that just triggers some tears and you just let them out because you know you can. Or if you find with the 12th house there is, you know, just a closure of an old way of feeling or being so that you can embrace the new. With the 12th house, it's oftentimes where things come up for us that we don't realize still bother us. You know, Pisces, in particular Pisces risings, have been going through this in February, where there's been a lot of emotions come to the fore that they didn't expect, or an eruption of emotions. And if you're finding that, you will notice with the Virgo full moon that certain emotions for you, or a certain way of feeling or believing in something, are in some way linked to your body. So if you're neglecting a side of yourself emotionally, or neglecting self-acceptance, or pushing some things to the back of your mind, it may be with the Virgo full moon they show up as a health ailment. You know, that's not to say you shouldn't get that checked by a doctor, because as always, do. Anything that is upsetting you physically, do get that looked at around this full moon, because with the Uranus and Taurus aspect, it could be surprising to you, but more so in the way that it's liberating. You're realizing that maybe it's trapped emotions in the body. You know, disease is dis-ease in the body. It's where you feel uncomfortable. It's where chakra is blocked. And oftentimes with Taurus in the equation, it might come up in the form of sore throats. It might come up in the form of infections, for example, anything that is just showing you where you're trapping some emotions or unfelt feelings. But for the most part, this is a very good full moon for you. It's really going to show you, you know, where you could adopt a bit more of a spiritual practice into your routine in general. because we have the door to personal healing and happiness. So because this is a 6th house full moon for you, Aries, there's a lot of healing, there's a lot of happiness, but do remember the spiritual and the physical link for this full moon for you. So whichever one is top heavy, try balancing it out. If you're over exercising but you're not feeling good in the inside, start incorporating in a bit of emotional self-care, a bit of journaling, talking to your friends, talking to your partner, talking to your family, especially your family, because with the home card, there seems to be an improvement in your home situation, either through a move or a healthy change in the occupants. So if you're dealing with a water sign or a Leo, there seems to be a lot of joy and happiness. I feel like this season's actually going to bring you a lot of happiness. You know, that's something that's coming up here. And it's through letting those emotions come up, because sometimes you're too brave. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you're just too brave and you just keep going. But a lot of you are tapping into a different, more spiritually profound energy that is very healing and very happy for you. So that is what I have for you, Aries. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Taurus, welcome to this segment on the Virgo full moon. So Taurus, this full moon is happening in your pleasure zone, your sector of fun, creativity, romance, love, frolicking in the meadows. It's really beautiful. It's a lovely full moon, and it's in support with Uranus in your 1st house. So you are glowing, you're looking good, you're smelling good, you're feeling good, you're ready for some fun, you're ready for some recognition, you're ready to be seen, you're ready to create, you're ready to just woo, va-va-voom. So Taurus, your ruler Venus is loosely opposite this full moon and conjunct the sun. Venus is in Pisces, which for you is all to do with your 11th house of wishes. So what is going on in your life with regards to fun, creativity and love, and how much is your manifestation occurring or not occurring in that area? Is there something you would like to tweak? Is there something you would like to add? Maybe for some of you, you would just like to experience friendships with this full moon more than anything else. But what I'm seeing with your cards is that this fun and this pleasure and this excitement is completely overflowing into your cards as well. We have the 6 of Wands and the Fool. It's a lot of recognition. There's a lot of people have their eye on you. You can bet when there's a full moon in your sign that you are very attractive. You are attracting people to you. People want to know what you're doing. People are asking about you. People are interested in you. If we could have parties at the moment, you'd be invited to them all. It's a beautiful full moon. It's really lighting up your sector of fun and frolics, but it's also, because it's linked to Uranus in your 1st house, I feel that there's a positive change in terms of your love or creative life that's going to impact your personality and your appearance. So for a lot of you, that could be meeting somebody, that could be starting a new project, that could be starting a new venture, that could be that some of you, for example, because of the change to your physical body linked to the 5th house, some of you could be pregnant. Or becoming pregnant or giving birth or something like that around this time. I'm seeing with the Fool and the 6 of Wands, there is a new beginning for you, and it's one that is going to give you a lot of attention. So this full moon is wrapping up a particular chapter and giving you the confidence for a new one, giving you the confidence to receive some more attention and recognition. I know that at the moment though, because Uranus in your sign is still in the square with Saturn, and it's also, Mars in your sign is also trining Pluto, so there's positive transformation for you there as well. But what I am seeing is that because of that square, there still is an underlying tension where I feel that this full moon is a bit of a release. It's a bit of a boop. And that tension for you is career. I feel like a lot of you are working very hard. You have a lot of people needing you, needing your energy. I also think for some of you, you could have had to take on a leadership role or more work, because there's the start delegating card. So giving other people orders, asking people for help, asking people on certain projects to do certain things. Work could be very busy for you because of these energies, or you could have taken on a new role in general. For a lot of you, I do feel like there is an elevation in your status because of the 6 of Wands and the Fool. So either you've been promoted, or you've found a new job, or you're about to find a new job around the full moon. I'm kind of getting this recognition energy for you, or if you're wrapping something up, you're getting a lot of attention for doing it. It's just, there's something in your life, Taurus, there's a new beginning with a lot of attention, and I feel like it's 5th house linked, so it's fun, it's exciting, it's gifts, it's music, it's creativity. There is a lot of love energy involved as well. And I do feel like a lot of you are very attractive to other people. And if you are looking to attract anything in your life, be it a career opportunity, I feel like a lot of you with the door to value card, if you can see here, are opening the way for more money or more abundance or more respect or more recognition or better treatment, either romantically in your relationships, your friendships, family, or career. I am seeing a lot of you with the Six of Wands and the door to value are getting some serious recognition around this full moon. And people are just going to want to be around you. People are going to want to, if they could, invite you places, maybe a lot of Zoom calls, maybe something like that. But you're glowing. Post a selfie. Do what are they called? Thirst traps, whatever. Whatever it is, because of the Pisces sun being in your sector of the internet. You never know, you might just find somebody online with this energy. So that is what I have for you, Taurus. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Gemini, welcome to your section on the Virgo full moon. So Gemini, this is quite an emotional time for you because the full moon is happening in your 4th house of home, security, and the past, and it's in positive alignment with your sector of the subconscious, of healing, and the unseen. So for you, this is a time of great emotional healing and release from the past. Now, this can feel overwhelming, but I do feel for a lot of you, you're going to see where certain healing or esoteric practices are paying off. This full moon will show you some energies where you can release the past just a little bit. On a more practical level, this can also be a change in your home or your living situation or change surrounding family. So this can be positive news with the 12th house. There could be things that you didn't know come to light. There could be pleasant surprises come to light because of Uranus. Uranus in the 12th house, I think, is usually a bit of a spiritual revolution where you realize you've actually, you've completed something in your heart. You've let something go. For a lot of you, it's to do with family. You might have let some kind of pain go, or you might have let an ex go, for example, or you may just decide to surrender in general, let go, let God, have faith in the unseen and faith in the unknown. And this full moon is a beautiful time to feel connected to the divine and something beyond you where you can put your faith. Because it's in your 4th house, it is linked to property, it is linked to housing situation, family, so they may need your attention at this point. That could be something that surprises you, that somebody could be asking for help that's not really likely to ask for help, or somebody could be seeking emotional assistance that isn't someone who would open up very readily. Or that could be you, because I'm seeing with the 2 of Swords, which is plaguing you a little bit, I have to say, and the 7 of Pentacles, growth has been slow. Decisiveness has been slow, coming to a conclusion has been slow, and things have felt kind of stagnant in certain areas. But with this Virgo full moon, you're going to see a bit of release, a bit of growth, and a bit of powerful change. Bear in mind that Jupiter in Aquarius is really highlighting your sector of thought, not forgetting that Jupiter in the 9th house is very comfortable there, and it's linking to the true node in your sign. So you are creating your own destiny in terms of your thinking. You're realizing how much your thoughts and your personal philosophy are affecting what you manifest. So some of you Geminis are learning to manifest with the moon. Okay, so the moon rules your money. The moon is very linked to your money. So if this is a full moon where you can let go of anything, let go of your subconscious beliefs about money, start reprogramming it, and then use the next new moon, which is going to be in Pisces, your career sector, to manifest more money to yourself if that's what you're worried about. The moon rules your money. So with that in mind, we also have the purification card and the storm warning. The storm warning makes sense for a 12th house aspect because it can pull up debris. So in a storm where the storm just comes and it cuts through the land, and typically when there's a storm or the tides are affected by the eclipses, typically more things wash up in the water. Last summer during the eclipses, I remember that there was a real phenomena here of washing up giant jellyfish. I mean, they were huge, but we would never see them on the beach typically, and they were all washed up with the eclipses. And so it washes up the things beneath that you don't realize are there. For you, that's emotional, right? So there's things coming up for you to cleanse and purge and see what you're dealing with, because it's easier to work with what you can see. So when certain emotions come to a head with the purification card, it's time for a cleansing, detoxification of your body and mind. You're really purging some emotional stuff out. And I do think with that fourth house, it's to do with your childhood, it's to do with family, or it's to do with, the long past, how your childhood shaped you, or things you felt in childhood that maybe still bother you now that you didn't realize. It's a beautiful full moon to decide you want to do a cleansing ritual of some kind. You want to do a Reiki session, you want to do a meditation, you want to do a tarot reading, an astrology reading, something like that, to just let some emotions up and let them go so that you can be free for the next chapter. Because Pisces season is going to have you in your feelings quite a bit. It is your career sector, so with the sun being there, you will find that because of this full moon, it's easier to advance in your career, especially with Venus there. A lot easier to advance in your career if you just let go of the past a little bit and any insecurities that are stopping you. Okay, Gemini, so that is what I have for you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Cancer, and welcome to your segment on the Virgo full moon. So Cancer, this is happening in your 3rd house, and it is receiving loving support from Uranus in your 11th house. So you could be hearing some really interesting news around this full moon, some really good news, some word of mouth. It might be something you even see on the internet. It might be something you hear from a friend, but it's likely that there's going to be some interesting conversation. It could also be surrounding neighbours or siblings, but it's likely that you're going to be hearing something that I think makes you quite excited. So a full moon in the 3rd house means that you can have communication come to the fore. We also have a lot of energy in your 9th house, which is Pisces, so it can be news from abroad. But basically what I'm seeing for you on this full moon is news. It is some kind of conversation. It is some kind of some kind of conversation, some kind of information that can make you feel really good, especially because it's positive change linked to Uranus in your 11th house. Uranus in your 11th house can actually just grant you wishes like that, really unexpectedly. In case you're wondering, the 11th house is associated with wish fulfillment and our ideals for the future. And for you, as well as a couple of other signs, the star has come up as your tarot card, meaning that there is some kind of opportunity, there is some kind of excitement, there's some kind of hope, there's some kind of faith, there's something to feel very excited about. You also have the sun. So to have the sun and the star is so auspicious. The sun in Pisces is blessing you. I can already feel that you have a shift in energy. You feel much better in a watery season. You feel much more comfortable. It's sister sign energy. And you're going to be feeling the glow and the heat from the sun. And a lot of you are going to want to travel. I can't lie. Like, a lot of you with the Piscean energy are going to want to travel. You're going to want to connect to people in distant lands. You're going to want to explore. It's also linked to adventure. So you could be receiving some news about adventure, but a lot of you could be taking a short trip to satisfy that urge if you can. Or a lot of you could be doing a lot of travel inspo blogs or whatever. But with the sun and the star, I feel that there is something shaping up for you quite nicely. And I feel with the Anya, leap of faith card, take a risk and put your heart's true desire into action. There's something that is a big yes, go for it. So with the full moon, I feel like it is revealing an opportunity to you. I feel like it's revealing some good news, some excitement, something to feel very happy about. There's maybe something in your family to celebrate. I do feel like a lot of you are just getting good news is what I'm feeling, and it's something that is going to require you to act on. It's not just something that falls into your lap. It's good news, and it's linked to September. It's linked to something you decided you wanted in September, something you started working towards in September, hoping for in September, manifesting in September. And I do think that it is linked to receiving some kind of information or some kind of conversation. There's a really good conversation coming your way. And I feel like with Uranus in your 11th house, as I say, it could be to do with a friendship, it could be to do with social justice, it could be to do with humanitarianism, it could be to do with groups. Basically, it feels like there's a lot of people are going to want to talk to you at the moment, Cancer. There's a lot of people are going to want to tell you things. There's going to be, if you're working, a lot of team meetings, a lot of team projects. There's going to be a lot of collaboration. So make sure that you're connecting and getting on with people at this point. But I do feel that there's this really warm, beautiful energy being shone on you and some kind of wish come true, some kind of manifestation. And because of this full moon being in Virgo and connecting to Taurus, if there's nothing that manifests, make a wish on the full moon. Make a wish that night. Look up to the moon and make a wish. People typically used to do that a lot more. You know, developing you are a Cancer. The moon is your ruler. Connect with the moon. Make a relationship with the moon. Do moon rituals. Do healing rituals on a full moon. Have a bath and visualize what it is that you want for yourself, or look at the moon and make a wish and just feel connected to magic, because there's a very beautiful magic energy here, and I'm linking to the word faith. There's a lot of faith and a lot of positive manifestation coming to you. So there's a really beautiful energy to tap into. And as I say, if nothing manifests around that time in an obvious way, listen to your conversations, listen to even music. You might hear a line in a song and it could just be sent for you. Like there's a message in it. So keep your ears peeled, because there's a message trying to come through to you around the full moon. So that is what I have for you, Cancer. Take care. Bye. Hi Leo, and welcome to your segment on the Virgo full moon. So this full moon for you, Leo, is falling in your second house of income and money and finances and worth. And it is in harmony with Uranus in your career sector, your success, your achievements. And so there may be some really good news for you around your career at this time. There may be some advancement. You may be getting more money. Maybe you'll be asking for a raise, maybe you'll be receiving a raise, maybe you'll be receiving more opportunities. It could be a new job, some new source of income. But basically your career and your financial sectors are highlighted here as being very important and very significant. So this is a beautiful time to wrap up a project and embrace in a new beginning. It is a time to see some reward for a job well done, to see some financial reward, to get some good financial news. And this could come from something quite surprising or quite unexpected. For you card-wise, this is completely reflected because we have the King of Pentacles and Cornucopia, suggesting that your career is going to be bringing you more money, more abundance. You might have found a way to save money. It could be something as simple as that. But the full moon is lighting up your sector of income. And it's also lighting up your sector of worth. So you may be realizing with this King of Pentacles and the Cornucopia card that you deserve more. You may be realizing that you deserve a little bit more money, a little bit more responsibility. You deserve better things in life. And so you might decide that you want to wrap up one chapter of your life and begin a new one. I'm seeing with the Coventina card, purification, that it is a good time to detoxify your body and your mind. Pluto is happening in the background with your career sector. It's trining Mars in your career sector. And so because of that, and Pluto being in your 6th house, I do feel that your career will transform for the better. The more you commit to looking after your body, your well-being, your diet, nourishing yourself, really taking control over your health and well-being, and the more that you do that and the more you have a routine, the more you're going to see financial success. So if that is something that you're not paying attention to, it is going on in the background. We're also seeing a lovely alignment between Jupiter in your sector of partnership connecting to your wish fulfillment sector. And so there seems to be some interesting direction that you're taking in terms of your partnerships. There could be good feelings, there could be success, and there could be some manifestation of a wish in your relationship sector. At the very least, some good news or an idea of what it is that you want for your future in terms of your love life. But for most of you, I do feel that your health journey and your wealth journey are very linked at the moment. So the better care you take care of yourself, the better care you will have in your financial situation. This is a beautiful full moon to release some money blocks or success blocks. Maybe you're in a career that is alternative, or you're self-employed and you're finding it hard to see ways to make money. This is a beautiful full moon to tap into what those fears and vulnerabilities are so that you can release them. Because with Uranus in the picture, the more you let go, the more you manifest. And so in your career, the more that you let go of needing success, of needing control, of needing power, the more it comes to you, because you're releasing something that is stagnant, frustrating, or it's a blockage. Uranus is good at releasing blockages. It likes to crumble the old that isn't working. It's a bit of a demolition site sometimes wherever Uranus is. It likes to just blow up the old ways of doing things to make way for new. And Uranus can make way for new because Uranus is very innovative. So this is a wonderful full moon to come up with ideas of making money so that you can put them into practice at the next new moon or whenever it is that they present themselves. There is a strong sense that a lot of Leos over the next few years are working their way to being self-employed or having more independent career success or more autonomy. And if you're seeing 1111 a lot, this is a clear indication that you're on that pathway, because cornucopia is 11. So you should expect around this full moon to be noticing some abundance, some gifts, some shifts in your perception of security and shifts in your perception of money. And this is going to be something that's working out for you in the long run. The more open-minded you can be in your career, and the more flexible you can be, the more you're going to reap these rewards and the more you're going to see financial success. So if that is something that you're struggling with at the moment, this full moon is a beautiful reset. And it's a beautiful full moon as well because your second house is Virgo, and Mercury rules your finances. Because Mercury's been in retrograde in your partnership, you've probably been looking very closely into your contracts. If you're putting money into anything with an agreement, terms and conditions, you're maybe deciding to let go of a few of those things, maybe a Netflix subscription. Maybe some of you are stopping certain money deposits that you're putting into other things, be it projects, whatever it is. Maybe some of you are getting very clear and putting more order into your finances. And Mercury goes direct tomorrow as I'm filming this, which is the 20th? It's the 20th of February tomorrow, I think. I have no idea what day it is. So Mercury's going direct tomorrow as I'm filming this. So the day after this goes up, Mercury will be going direct and your finances will start to improve. And I think you're going to see that relatively quickly, to be honest, because that little bit of revision and figuring out your money situation is good for you. Okay, so that is all I have for you, Leo. Don't forget, when Mercury moves into Pisces, there's a bit more of a flow of income as well. That will happen in March. And I will talk to you soon.